From the Legacy Sports Network, we welcome you to Wildcat Stadium in Temple, Texas for the 2013 Texas All-Star Soccer Games presented by Town Square Media. It is a civil war, North versus South, and a great day to play too, so here we go. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome high atop Wildcat Stadium in Temple. Michael Silvers alongside David Feliciano. Good morning to y'all. And again, it's a great day to play too. And we begin with the girls, North versus South, and one last opportunity, Dave, to see the state's best one last time.
Well, it's fun. It's an exhibition game. The state champions have been decided, and one last shot at glory for these players before they go on to the next level. From what we understand, all but one player is going to be playing in college. So college season's a long way away, but there's nothing wrong with staying sharp well ahead of schedule.
Players coming from all over the state, and they arrive over the last couple of days, but they only get really just one practice. So how much of an impact do you expect to see in this morning's game between the girls' teams from the North and the South?
Might be a little sluggish for the first 15 minutes. As you said, one practice. These players don't necessarily know each other. But I think once they get the sweat going, these players are good enough. Probably by the end near the end of the first half, we'll see some really good soccer.
A splendid morning here in Temple, Texas. We welcome you to Central Texas in the All-Star Games. The girls are up first, and when we return, we will have the opening kickoff here on FoxSportsSouthwest.com.
Midfielder from Timber Creek, number 5, Kaylee Asher. From Allen, number 6, midfielder, Haley Jensen. From Bryan, number 7, midfielder, Brittany Little. From Lufkin, midfielder, number 8, Mariah Phillips. From Aledo, number 9, midfielder, Bailey Scott. Also from Wiley East, midfielder number 10, Leslie Snyder. From Birdville, number 11, midfielder, Stephanie Sorrell. From A&M Consol, defender number 12, Kirsten Beeben. From Timber Creek, number 13, defender Rachel Davis. Westlake, number 14, defender Alexandra LaGuarta. Number 15 from W.F. Ryder, defender Nikki Neal. From Denton Geyer, number 16, defender Megan Stokes. From Forney, number 17, defender Madison Trussell. From Wiley, defender number 18, Shelby Valdepina. From Hewitt Midway, number 19, defender Lauren Vasquez. The North team is coached by Chris Besner from Wiley High. Matt Colvin from South Lake Carroll, Andrea Masanda from Round Rock Cedar Ridge, and Stacy McPherson from Amarillo. On the South squad, from Katie Taylor, number 1, goalkeeper Courtney Craig. Also goalkeeper from Bourne, number 2, Mariah Gahida. From MacArthur, number 3, forward Courtney Berdoff. From Dripping Springs, number 4, forward Amy Burns. From Cy-Fair, number 5, forward Hannah Duzat. From Friendswood, number 6, forward Leanne Dockel. From Deer Park, number 7, playing forward, Brooke Erdman. From Foster, number 8, forward, Kelly Regan. From Georgetown, number 9 forward, Haley Siders. From Clear Springs, midfielder Kelsey Conley, number 10. Number 11 from Warren Champion, midfielder Allison Fahey. From Sherryland, number 12, midfielder Miriam Garza. From Brazos Wood, number 14, midfielder Presley Hunt. From Alamo Heights, number 16, midfielder Elizabeth Ewell. From Reagan, it's number 17, defender Ashley Kraft. Also playing defender from Tomball, number 18, Katie Haymaker. From Pearland, number 20, defender Jai LeBlanc. From Brandy's, defender number 22, Lisa Toman-Ondal. And the South team is coached by Mark Kluppel of Katie Taylor, Jamie Hutchinson from Pearland Dawson, and Ernesto Martinez from Del Rio. The officials for today's game are Lauren Huffam, Emily Hamilton, and Gloria Martinez. Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask that you please stand and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of the national anthem.
Back at Wildcat Stadium in Temple. 2013 Texas High School All-Star Soccer Games presented by Town Square Media. Michael Silvers, David Feliciano, and our crew ready to bring you the girls here this morning from Central Texas. What do you expect in terms of keys? I mean, what would you as a coach tell these players aside from just having fun out there?
Well, it's certainly a different strategy in an exhibition game. It's not as aggressive, a lot more substitutions. In a standard game, you're going to be a handful of subs, but they're going to go the entire roster this game. The pressure is not there, but the skill level is better because everybody's a little bit better. So it's a very different kind of soccer game. I think the coaches are going to go very deep into the bench. It's a windy day, but it's still a hot day, so everybody's going to see a lot of time.
Temperatures rising. When last we checked, it was about 77 degrees here in Temple, but the high is expected to jump up to 94 degrees. The boys will get started at high noon. As you take a look at the North team in sky blue, their coaches Chris Besner, Matt Colvin, Andrea Masanda, and Stacy McPherson. They run a 4-5-1 formation. We'll tell you the starters in just a second. The South in purple, coached by Jamie Hutchinson, Mark Kluppel, and Ernesto Martinez. The officials for today's game, Lauren Huffam, The assistant referee is Emily Hamilton, and Gloria Martinez is the AR2. The North will move from left to right on your screen, and the South from right to left. And the South will have the wind to their back. It's a stiff breeze, as you saw during the national anthem, the flags blowing pretty heavily.
Yeah, we've done a lot of games. The state title games a few years ago, a big breeze I remember in that weekend. It definitely benefits the teams. Crossing balls down the field, goalies got the wind in their face, so it is a factor.
Teams getting their last instructions from their coaches. Plano West were the 5A state champions in the girls' UIL state tournament this season. Second consecutive state title in their 6th in school history. Denton Guyer was a first-time state champion in their first appearance in Georgetown not too long ago.
Well, Dallas that's where the talent is. Obviously, big state, plenty of teams, plenty of good players, but the Metroplex is just so deep, and expect Plano West. Denton is so new, and they're already this good. That just shows you how deep the talent level is up in Dallas.
Plano West won their 6th state championship in 7 state tournament appearances. That's quite the success rate.
Oh, I mean, they were 27-2 in goals in the playoffs, and they just put a lot on the board. It's so deep. And obviously the rosters from both these squads are going to be heavy for the larger cities. About half, if not 2/3 of the rosters, either Dallas or the Houston area.
I should correct myself as the teams switch directions on the field. It'll be the North that'll have the wind to their back here in the first 40 minutes. 40 minutes, we'll count it down in each half. The starting lineups for the North, a 4-5-1 formation. The striker is Kaylee Hervey. Haley Jensen, Leslie Snyder, Bailey Scott, Stephanie Sorrells, and Mariah Phillips are in the midfield. And along the back line, Shelby Valdepina, Rachel Davis, Megan Stokes, and Brittany Little. For the South, 4-4-2 formation. Hannah Dowsett and Brooke Erdman up front. The midfielders, Leanne Dockel, Presley Hunt, Elizabeth Uhl, and Allison Fahey. And the defenders, Gia LeBlanc, Lisa Tomendahl, Katie Haymaker, and Ashley Crabb. Whistle sounds, we are underway here in Temple. For the South, it is Hannah Dowsett, and a header by Haley Jensen. Haley Jensen from Allen High School. Again, the North moving from right to left. In control, Stephanie Sorrells at midfield. Angle to Brittany Little, who forwards it and gets it back. In terms of where these kids come from, they're from all over the state. So when do instincts come into play when trying to go with 1-2s and sort of soccer plays and set pieces?
Probably after a little bit of the half going, you start to recognize the standard plays. You got to forget about your team strategy that you were brought up on the entire season, because you just got to go back to soccer basics, because in a way these are strangers you're playing with out here.
Only got one practice, and that was yesterday.
Kicking into the wind.
Goalkeeper is Courtney Craig out of Katie Taylor against Claire Wheatley of the state champion Plano West Lady Wolves for the North. And Wheatley is the only goalkeeper on the roster, as McKenna Harris was not able to attend today's game, so she'll play the full 80.
Nothing new for Wheatley. She was among the best, only giving up 1 goal throughout the tournament.
Good long ball, but just out of the reach of Allison Fahey from Bernie Champion, number 11 for the South. Got to keep going.
Well, Blue running the 4-5-1, more of a counter-attacking style, heavy on defense. Make a play on defense, bring it back the other way very quickly. 4-4-2 on the other side for the South, more of a traditional style.
Playing to the attacking third, chested down by Fahey. Plays across from the right wing and is kicked out. And Haley Jensen on control, lays it back for Leslie Snyder from Wiley East. Good competitive soccer right now. as the North control. Touched by Ashley Crabb out of Reagan High School from San Antonio. Still Crabb as she plays towards center and is dealt back to the middle third. Chested down far side for Mariah Phillips from Lufkin, Texas. Now it is Gia LeBlanc from Pearland High School. Centering for Katie Haymaker, and the lob out of the reach of Hannah Dowsett from Cy-Fair.
You can tell it's an all-star game. The passing is much better than a standard game. I mean, everybody here can pass well and play make very well, and these players are larger and faster than your average player. So you can just see the playmaking is there. No real attempts on goal yet, though.
Claire Wheatley to execute the goal kick. Wheatley conceded only one goal in the state tournament, and for the entire run of the playoffs, she conceded just 2 goals as Plano West went back-to-back and won their 6th state championship.
They don't rebuild, they reload, Mike.
Shelby Valdepina from right to left along the left wing at midfield. And our first foul of the game as whistled by our referee, Lauren Huffam.
Well, it only took 5 minutes. I'm surprised. I thought it might be 15 minutes before we saw a whistle.
Haley Jensen crosses from left to right. Brought down by Mariah Phillips and played back to Brittany Little. Forwarding up the left wing, looking for a cross. Touch there by Mariah Phillips to keep it in play. Into the attacking 18. A slide tackle in the box. And a little shove there, a little shoulder by Leanne Duckle. She lifts it to the middle third for Brooke Erdman. Erdman played for Deer Park down in Region 3 in the greater Houston area. Bailey Scott ahead, but now we see some play in the middle third around the center circle. Valdepina playing in the back for the North today. A lob over the head of Stephanie Sorrells from Birdville, wearing number 11 in the sky blue.
A lot of play between the 20s on the football field. There's just not a lot of activity toward the goal at this point.
Wheatley comes out of the penalty box, and an on-rushing Brooke Erdman touches it last, and a goal kick coming for the North.
Another thing, field turf today. It's a much faster game on the field turf. There's no ruts, no flaws in the field like on a grass field.
Here in the third, in the 6th minute of the match, no score, no threat by either team thus far. And throw-in conceded by the South.
Also on field turf, the game is played much higher. A lot more bounces, balls in the air. It's like the old NASL when they played on the hard AstroTurf. It's a different kind of game.
Lisa Tomanendal played her high school ball at San Antonio Brandeis. To center for Elizabeth Uhl out of Alamo Heights, who lost to Cedar Park in the Region 4 Championship 4-2. Had won in a shootout over Georgetown to reach the regional semifinals. It was one of 8 shootouts in the Class 4A playoffs this season.
Oh, the midfield play has been so good so far in this game. Just no opportunities on goal, no shots.
Valdepina got by Allison Fahey from Bernie Champion.
Haven't seen a long ball yet. No one's tried to put it down on either wing.
Amy Burns will check in for the South team. Amy Burns from Dripping Springs.
As we said in the pregame, Mike, the roster's heavy on the populous areas, obviously. About half from Houston, half from Dallas.
See a long throw in here from Fahey. Gets the running start. Throws it in towards goal into the penalty area. And it is headed out. Off the head of Toman Endall. In for Elizabeth Uhl. Laid back for a lob towards the edge of the penalty area. Chopped in, but scooped up by Claire Wheatley.
South done a pretty good job of setting up camp about 35 yards out in front of the goal. They just can't put anything together after that. That was a handball.
Free kick for the North team. Taken by Bailey Scott. This is Snyder. To the right wing for Little. Sends it forward for Phillips. Phillips with the left foot sends it into the penalty area, and it is cleared out by Hannah Dozette. Giveaway in the middle third. Back come the North with Bailey Scott. Angle to her left for Haley Jensen. Some spirited play in the midfield. Still really no threat by either side with a shot on goal.
A lot of the activity above the waist, a lot of hand fighting, nothing down, no ankle diving, anything like that. It's a higher game.
Right, and that was one of the things that we kind of kicked around before we came on the air, was just how aggressive we would see the teams. And normally, when I've seen girls versus boys, not against each other obviously, but the girls seem to be a little more aggressive.
Oh, yeah, those title games we did, if I recall, the majority of the yellow cards were in the girls' games.
Long ball into the penalty area, easy work on the one hop to be collected by Courtney Craig. Or I checked that, Claire Wheatley. It's been Courtney Craig on the other side who really hasn't had much to do in terms of touching the ball. She's executed one goal kick, but that's pretty much been the extent of it.
Well, the South looked pretty strong so far. They're keeping it on the north end. They're getting some pushes again toward the middle, but nothing really on goal, nothing strong.
In the 10th minute of the match, no score here in this civil war, so to speak. North versus South at the Texas High School Soccer All-Star Games, presented by Town Square Media. You're watching it live here on FoxSportsSouthwest.com from the Legacy Sports Network from Temple, Texas in Wildcat Stadium. Throwing back for a long ball by LeBlanc. It'll go out for a throw for the North. Coming in, Alexandra Lagorda from Austin Westlake. Substitution for the North. Westlake won the Region 2 championship game after a 3-2 shootout win over Garland Saxa. Westlake would lose to Plano West 3-0 in the regional final. Plano West would parlay that into their 6th school state championship in girls soccer. I don't know if that throw-in ever was in bounds,
no.
But that was from Valdepina from Wiley High School, and they reached the Region 2 final of the Class 4A playoffs, but were defeated by state runners-up Highland Park. Highland Park had a bid for back-to-back state titles, but they were thwarted in that by Denton Geyer.
The Dallas suburbs is just, I mean, it's exploding, absolutely exploding.
And I think a lot of it is cyclical. You know,
yeah.
You have Dallas is really good one year, winning state championships. You have Houston that'll win great soccer down in the valley.
Yep.
We'll see that a little bit later with Brownsville Hannah represented. They played in the state championship game but lost to Capel.
Or Erdman for Deer Park is really making a play at things. She's hanging out right around 40 yards out and trying to make things happen. She's a stocky player, very strong, and really the first opportunity of the game just there.
Mariah Phillips with a run to her left. She forwards it up ahead. Flicked on by Brittany Little, then cleared by the South. South are in purple and North are in the sky blue. Represented, if you're a follower of English Premier League soccer, of Manchester City.
Yeah, you made that point earlier. Is there a team in purple out there? I'm trying to remember.
Not that I can recall right now.
Well, Lazio in Rome is the sky blue also. Are you a Man U or a Man City guy? You got to pick one.
Well, I don't. I like to watch the sport.
Yeah.
I like to watch the Premier League when I can. You know, the Confederations Cup is going on right now in Brazil, despite some protests within Rio de Janeiro. I was watching the news earlier today. They were talking about some of the protesting in Brazil, and they will be the host of the 2014 Men's World Cup next summer.
Well, they got 2 years to figure it out. And the Olympics.
That's right, 2016, Rio de Janeiro will host the Olympics, Summer Games. Brazil play Italy today in the Confederations Cup. Italy were the 2006 World Cup champions, and I don't know, Spain looks awfully good still. Number 1 team in the world. Throw in the attacking third for the North. Into the penalty area, headed out by the South. Oh, still just on the edge of the 18. Flicked on by Amy Burns. Comes back to Toma Nendal. To the center circle, forwarded to Amy Burns again from Dripping Springs High School. Plays a through ball. That reaches Claire Wheatley.
Wasn't a bad idea. Erdman broke left. The pass went right. That pass goes left. Erdman might have had a breakaway.
Along the left wing, Haley Jensen. Out into space. And she controls again for the North. Surprised we haven't seen one T1 up from distance just yet.
You will. They have the legs, definitely.
Leslie Snyder to the edge of the 18. There's a shot and a great save made by Courtney Craig to deny Mariah Phillips.
Yeah, these players, I mean, this is an all-star game. These players can put it on goal from 18, 30, you name it.
Courtney Craig from Katy Taylor High School in Katy, Texas. We take another look at the shot from Mariah Phillips.
That's a long one, definitely.
Good strike, but a better save. Craig equal to the task. Katy Taylor reached the state tournament for the 4th time in school history, and they won it back in 2006, but they lost to the eventual state champion Plano West Lady Wolves 4-0 in the semifinals as substitutions come on from the South in the form of Miriam Garza and Kaylee Reagan.
First corner of the game here.
Given to the North.
Oh, that's a
and
beauty.
And it's headed in.
Perfect kick. Absolutely perfect corner kick.
Perfectly placed corner, and Kaylee Hervey from Frisco, the striker with the header, that has given the North a 1-0 lead.
I mean, that was to the far post, about maybe 10 yards out, and that's perfect spot to put a head on the ball. And Hervey got up there, and she got up there in traffic too. That was not an easy header.
Comes in at the 16th minute of the match here in Temple. 1-0 North on the Hervey header.
Well, that's these guys' specialties. I mean, if these great players on the corner kicks, free kicks, that's where a lot of goals are scored.
And while most of the play and possession has been claimed by the South, it is the North who breaks through first. Off the set piece in the 16th minute, Kaylee Hervey the header off that excellent corner kick. Hervey with the flick, but controlled by the defense of the South. Lofted to the center circle where it is brought down by Courtney Berthoff out of MacArthur.
Hervey out of Frisco High School.
Another one of those Metroplex schools.
I mean, if you can develop, if you're fearless going up in traffic like that, I mean, you can really put a lot of goals out there.
Nice header to continue play by Berthoff. Well, blocking her off defensively was Megan Stokes of the Class 4A state champion Denton Geyer Lady Wildcats. Beat Highland Park 2-1 for the 2013 state title. But the North do concede a corner, so for the first time we'll see what the South can do off the set piece.
Yeah, I think Escajeda misplayed that a little bit. Or excuse me, Wheatley.
Katie Haymaker will take the corner kick for the South All-Stars. Bends it in, and it is volleyed just wide.
That was too easy for the South. The North providing no pressure to the middle there. That was an easy volley. I'm surprised they didn't score.
Ashley Crabb from Reagan with that excellent opportunity, just sent wide of the post.
Yeah, she was unmarked.
She comes in to volley that one back into the penalty area, off her line to scoop it and collect it is Claire Wheatley.
Yeah, you can see, Mike, the play's picking up a little bit. As we said, about 15 minutes, now we're seeing more opportunities on goal.
Wheatley blasts that one up into the air. Headed by Hervey. And not being able to keep it alive was Ashley Crabb.
Surprised we haven't seen more subs. I mean, one, I think, for the South, two for the North at this point. But they'll go deep. They'll play all 18 players.
We're talking with Katie Taylor, head coach, and one of the coaches of the South All-Star team, Mark Kluppel. So we went down to get starting lineups and formations. He said about the 20-minute mark he was going to switch his goalkeepers from Courtney Craig to Mariah Escajeda.
We're almost there.
That one comes in where it is gobbled up by Craig.
Let's check out Craig's leg. Pretty good.
Against
halfway
the
down.
breeze.
Yeah.
Dalzette. Back come the North. From right to left on your screen. Through ball reaches Craig. Center circle on the, right at the Temple tee. Haley Jensen. Stepping in front of that one was Elizabeth Uhl from Alamo Heights, Greater San Antonio area. Played back by Toman Endall.
Smart play.
Kept alive along the back line, but a cross will be sent in by Leslie Snyder. Now to Caitlin Gill, and she lost the handle, and it is cleared by the South.
Yeah, Snyder set up Gill, and that was a good opportunity. Just Gill couldn't handle it, but they still have possession here.
We're in the 20-minute of the match here from Temple, Texas, Wildcat Stadium. You're watching the 2013 Texas High School Soccer All-Star Games presented by Town Square Media. Along with David Feliciano and our crew, I'm Michael Silvers. Glad you've joined us this morning on FoxSportsSouthwest.com. Dozette, long ball. That'll roll into the penalty area for a scoop up by Claire Wheatley. She will play the entire 80 minutes as the other goalkeeper for the girls' North team, McKenna Eris from Capel High School, was not able to make it today. South penetrating into the attacking third. That centering pass was deflected, but then collected by Uhl. Here's LeBlanc with the lofter that is headed into the penalty area. And Wheatley off her line, beating Amy Burns to the ball.
Great idea by LeBlanc. Get a head on it, put it down, try to get a rebound. But good job by Wheatley to snag it up.
Kelly Reagan. Intercepted by Haley Jensen. Left wing now for Kaylin Gill.
Almost offsides. They got away with it.
Back come the North right wing, Kaylee Hervey. Will spin it back, but out of the reach of Alexandra LaGuardia. Earlier we told you she played for Austin Westlake High School, Region 2. And now some North substitutions will come out onto the pitch today.
And we're going to have the goalie substitution you mentioned.
So Craig out for Escajeda. And Escajeda will play the remainder of the first half. And We assume they will do the same in the second half with Escajeda coming in at about the 20-minute mark of the second half. But then again, she can play the first 20 and then have Craig come in for the final 20. It just depends on what the coaching staff elects to do.
Quality play might actually be better in an exhibition game because everybody's rested. I mean, you're not going to go the full 80.
South team in purple, left to right on your screen. Reagan able to find Berthoff. Edge of the 18, inside the penalty area with the centering cross. A little hard to control by Reagan.
Good
and
idea.
It's cleared by the North.
It was a great opportunity, though.
Here's a long shot, scooped up by Wheatley. Shot from Ashley Crabb from Reagan High School.
Yeah, Berthoff, it was a nice run. She got by her defender with ease almost. Jensen.
Here's a header. Controlling Hervey with a chance. Hervey with an excellent move, and she scores. Second goal for Kaylee Hervey comes in the 23rd minute.
She got free. That was a long run. That was right about 40 yards out that she got free and got by two players. And it wasn't a fast run. It was just a good physical play.
All begins with that header.
Yeah. Set herself up, and the rest was all her. Nice fake here, and no problem.
2-0 North. Hervey has scored both markers for the North All-Stars in the 16th and 23rd minutes. Substitutions back on the pitch for both sides.
Kind of a leisurely pace. The skill levels is very strong, but there's really no aggressiveness. But that's the name of the game in an all-star game. But you can see the individual skill, like Hervey.
Scoreboard clock is malfunctioning here at Wildcat Stadium. Still says 17-18. While we are at 16 minutes remaining in the first half. Throw in for the North All-Stars, who pretty much have seen most of the play around the middle third and in their defensive third, but have taken the opportunities and made the most of them, with Kaylee Hervey notching 2 goals in the 16th and 23rd minutes.
What's interesting is the South has more shots on goal and more opportunities, but the North have the 2 big plays.
You expect that our officials are keeping time on the field while the scoreboard has malfunctioned here in Temple.
Yeah, they're about 2 minutes off here.
Throw in for the South. It comes in to Miriam Garza from Mission Sherryland.
And you're not going to see injury time in a game like this.
No.
No, sir.
Not in the high school game.
If somebody goes ankle tackling in this, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, we haven't seen many, if any, slide tackles. Maybe one early.
And in a standard big-time game, you may have 4 or 5 minutes of injury time.
And certainly at the pro and international level, a lot of diving.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that the whole diving thing is filtering into other sports now. And that never used to happen. And now the NBA is obsessive about getting rid of it, which is a good idea. Soccer, unfortunately, it's just, it's a part of the game in many countries.
And that's what I get the kick out of the most when it comes to soccer, is when a player dives, they act like they've been hurt so bad, and then once they get the free kick whistle, they pop up like nothing ever happened.
Well, that's something that may keep soccer from becoming a premier sport in the United States, because the U.S. doesn't. The other major sports in the U.S., you have to man up. You can't pull stuff like that. So that's something that I don't think you see a lot of that in the MLS.
No, you don't. You sure don't.
But there's a couple players whom I won't name in Europe who look like they've been shot by an arrow or something. One of them is one of the premier players in the world.
Lauren Vasquez from Hewitt Midway in the lineup for the North. Lays it off to her left for Callie Asher from Keller Timber Creek. Now controlled by Gia LeBlanc. She turns it over to Callie Asher. Hervey. Young lady with both of the North goals here in this first half. Edge of the 18. Here's a long ball. Shot on goal. Hits the crossbar of the goalpost for football. And out for a goal kick.
Good idea. I know it's a long shot, but she was open, and she had about 10 yards of space, so might as well put it on goal. Yeah, there's plenty of room there to shoot that.
Up the woodwork. Attempting to chase this one down before it goes out of bounds, Stephanie Sorrells, but she can't. As we enter the 28th minute of the match, a 2-0 North lead.
Yeah, scoreboard clock about 4 minutes behind the action now, so it's about, we're coming up on 12 and a half unofficially left in this half.
I guess we're going to find out when our clock strikes 0 and they continue to go just how much extra time, if any, that these girls will be allowed to play in the first half.
Well, I mean, there's 3 clocks. There's our clock, there's the scoreboard clock, and the ref's clock, so we'll figure it out.
South looking to at least cut the lead in half. Second foul, maybe the third of the match. Free kick will be given to the South and will be taken by Hannah Dozette, who played her high school soccer at Cy-Fair for the Lady Bobcats.
And wind in her face.
One hop into the penalty area.
It was a handball. They didn't call it.
Crossed by Reagan, and it is volleyed in.
Didn't matter.
The South have cut the lead to 1.
Take a look on the cross.
Miriam Garza with the goal.
Looks like it just got through to Garza, who was unmarked on the far side, and the cross really made that. It was a great cross into traffic.
29th minute, the time of the goal. Miriam Garza from Sherryland High School down in the Valley has cut the deficit to 1.
Yeah, good to see the Valley represented. We've been talking about Dallas and Houston the whole day, and Valley getting a goal.
Trapped by Hervey, but back come the South. Can they find the equalizer here in the first half with just outside 10 minutes to go here in Temple in the first half?
I had to look up Sherryland. It's not one of the premier name schools on the roster here.
Asher to her teammate for Timber Creek, Kaylin Gill, but well defended by Kelly Reagan. Referee Lauren Huffam says that it was last touched by the North, and the South gets awarded the throw-in. And dribbling it out of bounds, Dozette from Cy-Fair.
And you can really see these players. You can see why they're all-stars. They know how to make plays. I mean, every soccer game is going to have crosses and corner kicks, but when they have the ball in a pressure situation, they know how to make a play. And no play on there, no takedown.
That's Sorrells. A bit of a double team defensively. The clearance deflected out for a throw-in.
That's a good no call. It didn't look like a lot of physical activity. Just kind of got tied up.
Substitutions for the North. Allison Fahey and Leanne Dockel look to return.
Yeah, now they're subbing about 2 at a time at this point. Crab coming out. Crab had a nice run in her first half here. Well, the hero so far, Hervey's still out there.
Hervey with markers in the 16th and 23rd minutes. Miriam Garza of the South team got one back for the South in the 29th minute. Berthoff plays it back. Ashley Crabb to the left back. Turns it over. But Dozette will get it back for the South. Lifts it with her left foot, but back come the North. They move from right to left. Asher.
Hervey again, very close to being offsides. She's really on the level. And she's trying to make a break for the goal. She can't get free though.
Sorrells. Couldn't get past Tomanendal. And the South in purple. Feathered up ahead, just out of the reach of Berthoff.
Oof. No call.
A little physical there as Berthoff gets it back for the South. That deflection out of bounds. Throw in for the South. 33rd minute of the match here from Temple's Wildcat Stadium. This is the 2013 Texas High School Soccer All-Star Games presented by Town Square Media here on FoxSportsSouthwest.com. Another throw in for the North. Boys will be starting around noon. Fans continue to file into Wildcat Stadium.
Pretty good walk-up crowd. We're got probably close to 1,000 here. Boys are going to be playing in the hot weather. If the wind holds up, they'll get a little bit of a break.
Snyder. A little room to roam. Gets chopped down, but finds the open lady.
Put it on goal.
There's the shot, takes a deflection. Oh, and deflected just wide by Sorrells. The run was started on the right wing by Lauren Vasquez from Hewitt Midway. Danger averted for the moment and a goal kick for the South.
I think it was sort of a halfway shot, halfway pass. Well, she loaded up. It was deflected, that's why. But almost a rebound opportunity. And the boys have just arrived on the far end.
I reckon since they're in sky blue, that is the North.
Yep. See, the boys got to sleep late. That's not fair.
Well, if you want to be chivalrous about it, ladies first.
Yeah. Well, that too.
Asher. For Vasquez. Put out of bounds by Kelsey Connolly, midfielder from Clear Springs.
I think the North's really working that right side. I've had a few long attempts from that right side. It's kind of unmarked, and a lot of these attempts are wide open.
Brittany Little will check back in for the North.
They scored their goal, one of the goals on the corner kick from that side.
Throw into the edge of the 18. Out of the danger zone, and the South looking for an equalizer here before halftime. 2 goals by Kaylee Hervey. Gave the North a 2-0 lead.
There's Hervey again.
Before Garza was able to chop that lead in half for the South in the 29th minute. Throw in for the South.
On our clock, about 5 minutes left in this half. I think they've gone through the entire roster by this point in terms of substitutions, at least 3/4 of it.
We mentioned at the top of our telecast that all but one of these players combined, girls and boys, will move on to play college soccer. Vasquez plays it back for Gill. Hervey with the flick to the edge of the box for Sorrells, the shot and the save made by Escajeda.
That's great skill by Sorrells. She didn't like one side, she changed it to the other and got a pretty good shot off. Let's take another look here. Switch feet, went to lefty.
Really didn't challenge Escajeda. The shot was directed right on the keeper. Escajeda played her high school soccer at Bernie. For the Lady Greyhounds.
How'd you know that?
When you've covered
all
high
the
school
nicknames.
sports since the year 2000. Now, I'm not an encyclopedia.
Well, it's not like we get out to Bernie very often.
Fahey will deliver the throw in the attacking third. Chance for the South to equalize to the near post. Headed. And that one, oh, what a save. That was Erdman with the chance. The save by Plano West keeper Claire Wheatley keeps that a 1-goal lead for the North.
Wow. That's just straight up reflexes. It wasn't a very hard shot, but it was unmarked, wide open. Wheatley, a tremendous save. There's no excuse why this wasn't a goal, but Wheatley made that play. With just one hand, too.
Hervey deep in the attacking third, and she wins a corner for the North All-Stars. They have a 2-1 lead, almost saw that lead completely evaporate. But Wheatley kept it at a 1-goal lead with that excellent one-handed save off the volley by Brooke Erdman.
That's why she's an all-star. That's why she only gave up 1 goal in that tourney. And here, last time the North had a corner, they scored. Look for Hervey.
This one comes in low. Escajeda couldn't get both hands on it and secure it. Kicked out of the penalty area along the left wing, controlled by Neal. She lost the handle. Stepping in front there was Kirsten Bevan from A&M Consolidated High School. Haymaker. Long ball to the center circle. Dockel. Back to Connolly. And this is Uhl. 38th minute of the match. 2-1 North All-Stars. Presley Hunt from Brazos Wood. Looking to the left wing, but there's Vasquez. Out of bounds and a south throw in. Coming up at halftime, we'll recap what has happened in the first 40 minutes. We'll talk with Burden Wooten of Town Square Media. There's a header not on target, but coming out to collect the ball was Wheatley.
The total shots on goal probably about 5 or 6 apiece. Nothing flashy, but Wheatley's save that might stand up. I mean, that was huge.
I told you it was about 77 degrees as we came on the air. It has leaped up to 90 degrees out on the field, and I would assume that it's a little hotter down there than it is up here for certain. Fahey wins it for the South. Back for Hunt. Hunt with the lob. That's out of the reach of everybody. This one will roll out for a goal kick.
They didn't do her any favors. She was waiting for her wingman to make a run. Nobody made a run. So it just kind of went out of bounds. Kind of a wasted opportunity there.
Hervey with 2 goals for the North in the 16th and 23rd minutes. Miriam Garza for the South in the 29th minute. That's where we stand as we near the conclusion of the first half here in Temple. Phillips played it back. Along the left wing for Phillips again.
Time for one last opportunity for the North.
Asher finds Jensen. Some traffic in the midfield. Vasquez. Back for Stokes. And ahead for Phillips. Lob into the 18. That one shielded off. And looks like it's going to be a corner kick for the North. One last chance.
Little was slightly offsides for the North, but it worked out. And this is one of those Bender corner kicks, a little right to left.
We've adjusted our clock to match the scoreboard, so let's see what they can do with the extra time. The corner is kicked out by the South. Vasquez will get it back along the right wing. Adjusts her direction. That one went through Kayla Asher. And there's the halftime whistle.
That was a good half. A lot of scoring, actually. 2-1 is a good mark, and Hervey came up big.
Kaylee Hervey of Frisco with goals in the 16th and 23rd minutes. Miriam Garza from Sherryland down in Mission with a goal for the South in the 29th minute. And we have come to the end of the first half here from Temple's Wildcat Stadium. We'll be back with our halftime festivities in just a moment here on FoxSportsSouthwest.com. back at Wildcat Stadium in Temple. After 40 minutes, it's a North 2-1 lead over the South. Michael Silvers, David Feliciano back here in the broadcast position. Your thoughts after the first 40?
It was entertaining. As we suspected, it took about 10 minutes of things to get going, and then the players made big plays. A corner goal off a header by Hervey in traffic, then Hervey with a breakaway, and then Garza with a nice rebound, then a big save by Wheatley to prevent a tie. So a lot of entertainment, a lot of big plays in the first half. As we predicted, a leisurely pace. I think maybe 3 whistles in that first half, nothing major, but you can see the skill level out there.
Frisco's Kaylee Hervey with goals for the North in the 16th and 23rd minutes. Miriam Garza from Mission Sherryland got the South on the board in the 29th minute. And as Dave mentioned, almost with the equalizer for the South, but a great save by Claire Wheatley of Plano West, who won back-to-back state championships in the 5A classification over the course of the last 2 years. They have got 6 state championships in school history. Final instructions in respective team huddles before we get back to play and start the second half.
Kind of a quick turnaround at the half. It's an abbreviated halftime, so not a lot of time to catch your breath.
Temperatures continue to rise, but the breeze is still in effect, which will help the players out. Now, we talked about it in the first half, although it didn't really seem to matter much, was the wind that benefited the North in the first half, and we'll see if it does benefit the South here in the second half. But the wind really didn't play much of a role. At least I didn't think so.
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's probably 15 to 20 in gusts, and it's not as bad as we suspected. It's actually more blowing at us than across the field.
That benefits us greatly.
Yeah, we lucked out under this cover here, but as we saw on the clock just a few minutes ago, 93 degrees out there on the track.
Continues to rise. The high for the day was set for 94. Whether or not we breach that and go higher, well, that remains to be seen.
The boys are going to be playing at high noon.
Coppell won the 4A state champion or 5A state championship for the boys. Waco University, the 4A state champions, and this is a UIL event in the sense that not sanctioned by the UIL. It consists of players that played for UIL schools, and UIL go 2 classifications deep in soccer. And I think, I might not be correct here, but I want to say that if there's a 3A school that has a soccer program, they play in 4A. Because they don't have enough 3A programs to warrant a 3rd classification in soccer. So any school in that classification that has the numbers to put a team together, I believe, can play in 4A.
We watch football, and there's 2 of everything, Division I and II, and all the way down. So soccer a little bit more the traditional state champion.
About to hear the whistle from our referee, Lauren Huffam. The South in purple, the North in sky blue.
I'd love to see the old Indiana high school basketball version. 1 title, any classification, every man for himself.
I always thought it'd be unique to see the Division I versus Division II champions play that, and 1 type of game.
Yeah, extra game. That would mean about 17 games for a football season. It'd be kind of tough.
Yeah, that's true. Don't want to start the season too early, and they end it right before Christmas week. It's pretty much perfect as is, I think.
Yeah.
It's great to speculate and have fun talking about it.
That's
what
the
will it
beauty.
be? Like this past season, who would win, Allen or Katy, the 2 5A football champions?
Wow. That might sell out the Reliant.
That's pretty much what's on the docket next. Baseball's over, softball's over, and now it's back to football. First business to attend to here in Temple as we are underway here in the second half, 2-1 North. They move from left to right, while the South move from right to left. Here's Jensen. Squeezed away from her, and a long ball to be played by Presley Hunt. Up off the right wing. Brittany Little for Vasquez. Good tackle. Ball deflected inside for Erdman, and coming out Wheatley.
Wheatley saves the day again. Erdman had a run. was just a little bit too far in front of her, though.
That goal conceded by Wheatley in the first half, just her third since the playoffs had started back in April.
Here, take a look. I mean, this is a big save. Erdman just can't get there, and then she does at the last second. Wheatley shut it down.
LeBlanc. Up to right midfield for Fahey. Couldn't keep it in play.
It could easily be 3-2 South without those two plays by Wheatley.
Now it is Hervey waiting for the ball. Hervey with two defenders on her with her right foot. Edge of the 18. Lays it back for Phillips, and her shot wide.
Well, Hervey had a choice there. It was 1-on-2. Would have been a tough situation. Try to create a shot for yourself. Decided to lay it off.
Something in me suspects that we may be calling a hat trick for Kaylee Hervey today.
That was a good opportunity. And, you know, she's been around it every time.
Courtney Craig started the game in goal for the South and will start the second half in goal for the South. Free kick awarded to the South All-Stars, who trail by 1. Throw in for the North.
In terms of substitutions, everybody's going to see a little time out there. I think we're going to have a little deeper substitution as the game goes on here and the temperature rises.
LaGuardia with the throw in, but is controlled by the South. Here's Hunt. Jensen in traffic. Good skill showed there by Jensen. Kept alive along the touchline by LaGuardia.
Look, his passing's great.
Off the one-touch flick. Deflects off at Jensen and out.
And then I jinxed
for a South throw.
Yeah, about 5 or 6 really good passes. And then finally the South defense knocking it away.
Throw-in will be taken by Ashley Crabb from Reagan High School in the greater San Antonio area. North lead 2-1. This is Phillips. Plays it back. And the long ball sent by Rachel Davis from Keller Timber Creek. 3 Timber Creek players on this North roster. Kaylin Gill, Callie Asher, and Rachel Davis. Through ball to Erdman. But back come the North. Erdman will get it back.
Good switch there.
To her right for Garza. Or it's Fahey, I should say. Fahey in the attacking third with a cross that deflects out for a corner.
Worked out. Create a corner for yourself.
45th minute of the match. 2-1 to the North All-Stars on 2 goals by Kaylee Hervey. A chance for another equalizer, or another chance at an equalizer for the South. Haymaker will take the corner kick for the South All-Stars.
It's going to be a little right to left.
They get battle for positioning in the 18. It is headed down. Haymaker, the edge of the 18 penalty area. South trying to reclaim possession. Spun through by Dockel. And the North have it again. Phillips. Now it is Dockel.
Yeah, they tried to get it to Jensen on a run down by the sideline, but knocked away.
South All-Stars with a throw-in as they trail 2-1.
I think the North is slightly the better passing team, but the South defense is making the plays when they need to.
Just got a quick look of Katie Taylor head coach, Mark Kluppel of the South All-Stars. Headed out by the North for another South throw.
She can really hurl it. I mean, she can get it to midfield without a problem. Watch.
A running start for Allison Fahey. Into the penalty area, headed down deeper into goal, and Erdman couldn't get the shot off, but here's a chance that is sent high and wide by Hannah Dozette.
Yeah, Fahey, that's who you bring in to throw it in. That's really a underestimated point of soccer is if you get a good throw in, it's the same thing as a corner kick in some ways. That's going the distance, Mike.
Keeper to keeper.
Don't see that very often.
Each South goalkeeper have conceded a goal to Kaylee Hervey of the North. That second goal was a thing of beauty on the dribbling skill of Hervey to get Escajeda to fall down and attempt her save. And she slotted it home into an empty net. Here's a cross in for Hervey over her head. Brittany Little, long drive, and a one-hop to Courtney Craig.
Hervey's got a little Maradona style. I mean, she's not the fastest, but her skill is good, and she doesn't panic when she gets the ball and makes plays.
Going back to the 80s.
Yeah, well.
The hand of God.
Maradona did.
The 86 Cup.
He wasn't exactly a sleek-looking guy, but he just made plays.
Former head coach, manager of Argentina, of the national team. And of course, when you say the hand of God, that was in the 86 World Cup against England.
That has to be seen to be believed. Look that up. It's fun. I don't know how that was not called.
Watched it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Not actually, pretty recently, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. England is still upset about it.
I think England's even more upset about that 98 World Cup. And then they got somewhat of revenge in Japan and Korea in 2002.
Oh, lost the shoe.
I think David Beckham.
She's going shoeless. Going Mike Miller.
It was Beckham who was sent off with a red card in the 98 Cup game against Argentina and then buried home a penalty kick in the 1-0 win for England in the group stage.
Well, Dozette
2002 World Cup.
Sorry, I'm going off about shoes here. Dozette lost the shoe at the 50, and she needs to get that back on ASAP.
Playing in the 50th minute of this girls all-star game here at the 2013 Texas High School Soccer All-Star Games presented by Town Square Media. 2-1 North. And they have the throw-in, far side of the pitch. Good skill headed off the heads of these girls. LeBlanc along to the left side for Dockel. Challenged away from her by LaGuardia.
Good no call.
LaGuardia gets it back. Taken from behind by Dockel and kicked out for a throw-in. Of course, if you've been keeping up with the United States in their World Cup qualifying, they looked really good in their match against Seattle, in Seattle. And then they recently defeated Honduras.
Honduras is an underrated team. That was a big win.
Josie Altidore has been on fire in the last few matches in qualifying.
They look really good. I think Klinsmann's got them in the right direction. I don't know if they'll ever be a top 10 in the world type of team, but you were saying Mexico might not make the World Cup.
Mexico's had a tough time qualifying. They've had a tough time in the Confederations Cup. They lost to Brazil. And
well, the CONCACAF is getting better. Honduras, Panama, good teams. Jamaica's always – I don't think they'll make it this year, but they're always tough.
And that was the match in Seattle, was the game against Panama. Then it was Honduras. And this was after they had lost in a friendly to Belgium.
What was the game in the snow up in Colorado?
Costa Rica, I believe.
Man. That was whoever scheduled that was a brilliant person. Let's take Costa Rica, bring them up into the snow. Of course, you can't predict the weather, but
Weather, that's a fickle thing. Hervey. Can she score a hat trick here in this All-Star game? She's got both goals for the North. Tackled away, though. Back come the South, right to left in purple. Good piece of skill from Hannah Dozette of Cy-Fair. Dozette into the penalty area, out off her line to make the save. Gobble that one up, Claire Wheatley.
That was a great run by Dozette. She got that in midfield and almost set up her teammate.
Ended the threat.
Wheatley is, I can see why she's a state titleist.
Out of the penalty area, kicking it out of play, Courtney Craig. Well, not out of play. South able to keep it in. LeBlanc. Hunt collects it at the edge of the penalty area. Deflects to LeBlanc, who will get it back. Good 50-50 right there.
South's got to get it out of there. They're wasting too much time here.
Jensen, far side, and Craig comes out to collar it.
They couldn't get it out, and North was ready to pounce.
Played along to the left wing. Haley Siders from Georgetown, who lost to Alamo Heights in a shootout in the Region 4 playoffs this season. North awarded the throw-in. The boys' all-star game will get underway around 12 o'clock. And then that will end our day here from Central Texas, as substitutions come out on the pitch for the North.
Trussell entering, and they'll throw it in.
Madison Trussell from Forney, wearing number 17 for the North. Ball comes in to Leslie Snyder out of Wiley East. Jensen begins a run. Lobs it for a volley that'll stay in play in the deep attacking third off the foot of Julia LeBlanc. And then kicked out for a North throw-in. Since we're talking about the girls' game, and we have a girls' game, the last Women's World Cup had an epic finish between Japan and the United States, and they'll play in 2015, the next installment of the Women's World Cup, and you always have to think that Team USA are the prohibitive favorites going into every cup.
There's nothing wrong with picking them to win it every time. I mean, but the Asian countries are solid, absolutely solid. China, always good. Japan, Korea.
The United States won gold in the last Olympics that were held in London. Here's Rachel Davis. Good defense by LeBlanc. She'll kick it out and concede another throw-in.
That was a big play. Get by her, and she's got a wide-open look.
Daddy already knows.
Where's the next Women's World Cup being
Couldn't
held?
tell you. I brought a lot of information with me, but that wasn't one piece of it.
I'm depending on you, Mike.
Throw into the North, comes into Hervey. With a little trouble controlling, and it is cleared out by the South. North has pretty much dictated a lot of the play here thus far in the second half. This is Valdepina for Forney and Trussell with a cross that comes out to the edge of the 18 and brought down.
That's outside the penalty box, but a free kick right in the middle.
Phillips fouled by Hunt in a dangerous area for a free kick.
Yeah, they're going to put up the wall right around probably about 15 yards out.
There it is right there. The foul running into her was Hunt.
I'll agree with that. So let's check this out. This is a really good opportunity here.
About 25 yards out.
3-man wall. It's not a big wall. They're worried about a pass more so than a shot. It was a shot.
Valdepina with the shot right on goal. And easy work for Courtney Craig.
It was a pretty good shot. It was a chest high burner.
Fahey. Trapped down and sent ahead. Play in the midfield and a volley up high by Dozette. Header to the right wing.
Good cross.
Headed out by the north. Asher with the spin. Out of the reach of Hervey. Play offside, and getting back onside was Fahey. Fahey got it back.
Needs help.
With a chance with a bender from deep off the right wing. There it is. And it comes to a shot over the crossbar. Elizabeth Ull with a chance at the equalizer. It is deflected by the keeper, Wheatley, so a corner conceded. And another chance here for the South to go level.
North fell asleep. The South got free on the far side, as you'll see here, and then a nice deflection, wide open look, but they get a corner out of it. I think people are starting to get tired. I think you can sort of see that. They're dragging a little bit. I don't blame them. I mean, we're talking 93 degrees out here.
State tournament ended in April.
Yeah, they've been sitting around for a few months, too.
Well, I'm sure they've gone out and had some fitness, you know.
High school students don't really sit around, so.
Tomanendal to execute the corner from the near side. To the back post. Headed wide and out of play.
A little far out, little out from the far post. Would have been a tough header. Yeah, I'm right about that, because in high school the soccer season never really ends. I mean, we played after school even after the season ended. It's sort of a semi-practice, so unofficial practices.
LeBlanc will play it back to her keeper, Courtney Craig. She gets it right back along the left wing. Kicks it out of bounds, and the North will have the throw in. And Trussell will deliver.
I think these teams have a couple more goals in them. We haven't seen it this half yet, but the shots are there.
Bailey Scott will come out on the pitch for the North All-Stars.
And we're about halfway home in this half. North trying to hang on.
We're in the 60th minute out of 80 here in Temple.
Yeah, I think they're starting to get tired. It's not as crisp. But the North is the passing is always going to be there. And they've had a few free kicks like this one.
Delivered by Trussell, wide and out for a goal kick.
See, there was no approach on the kick. The kick went out there and nobody ran up on it. You can just see everybody's a little bit tired.
A little stiffer breeze here lately.
Tape your papers down, will you?
Keeper change for the South All-Stars is Mariah Escajeda. Comes in. Courtney Craig gets a hug along the near sideline from Coach Mark Kluppel.
Yeah, Craig's day
High
is
fives.
Her day is done. Played well.
Very judicious way of playing the two netminders. 20 minutes each half. Here's Mariah Phillips into the penalty area. Stymied by the South. Ball won by Bailey Scott from Aledo. Scott. Right wing for Little. And it goes out of bounds. Even with this field turf, it does crown for drainage purposes.
It's night and day playing on field turf and regular grass. It really is. I mean, grass, you could sprain an ankle at any moment if you're on a bad field. But this stuff it's just polished and clean. It's so much faster. And you better know how to head the ball on field turf.
Can only imagine what some of these teams, and a lot of these girls probably never experienced it, but when soccer was played on AstroTurf.
Oh, I played one game on AstroTurf, and it was bizarre. It's like playing on concrete.
Rachel Davis, headed by LeBlanc, out of play. North throw incoming as we play in the 62nd minute of the match. Live from Wildcat Stadium in Temple. This is the 2013 Texas High School All-Star Games. Presented by Town Square Media. I wonder if that's a fire drill.
Are the Japanese coming?
Now they've asked that the clock be stopped at 17:43. This isn't very pleasant.
Wow, I mean, I can't imagine what that is.
And now they've asked that the players come off to their sideline as we have a stoppage.
I think it's from that. Yep, whatever that thing is.
In the old sarcastic applause.
Death by sound.
So the clock is stopped with 17 minutes, 43 seconds remaining.
I gotcha. It's a, that's how they. It's a fire engine situation.
Off into the distance,
Yeah.
even though it seemed pretty loud to us. It's like, it seemed like it was right next door.
It is. It's right there. It's across the field.
All right, the kids are come back out.
That was kind of scary for a second there.
There's the culprit.
Yeah. I did a baseball game once when it was interrupted by bugs.
Bugs?
Yeah.
Wow.
The game itself wasn't necessarily interrupted, but the broadcast was. It was a buggy night. Must have been every sort of critter out there.
So we'll play with 63 minutes in the 63rd minute, 2-1 North. All the goals scored in this match scored in the first half. Hervey for the North in 16th minute and the 23rd minute. Miriam Garza in the 29th minute for the South. Asher finds Scott. Snyder. She's marked by Uhl. Back to Scott. Scott tries a through ball to Trussell, and it goes out for a goal kick.
They're trying to get it to Trussell. She's breaking free quite often, but it's always 5-10 yards in front of her. Can't catch up. She came in as a sub here, so she's a little fresher than the other players.
Haymaker checks back into the lineup, as does Miriam Garza. Off the head of Hervey. Asher finds Snyder. Into the box for Sorrells. Kept alive along the inline and then out for a corner kick. Miriam Garza back defensively for the South All-Stars. One of her teammates there to help as well.
Bevan actually in there and had a nice run. It was a great look, give and go almost, and they got a corner out of it, so it kind of worked out.
Gill with the left-footed corner kick. And Hervey with the header just wide.
Yeah, you almost called it, Mike. She's looking for that hat trick.
Scored the first goal for the North off a corner kick.
If I'm the South, I put two people on Hervey anytime there's a corner. She sets up by the far post and gets up there. I don't even think she's necessarily tall. She just gets to the ball.
Another goal kick.
Who's the guy in the English national team who's like 6'5"? He's skinny. Crouch.
Haven't seen him play a lot on the national team.
He doesn't look like a soccer player. Looks like a swimmer. I'm surprised there's not more tall soccer players because that's such a weapon if you can get a head on the ball.
Especially when you tower over everybody else.
Lawless was one of those guys.
Lawless has turned into quite the pundit.
He's a good broadcaster, in my opinion.
Asher for the North All-Stars. Tried to find Gill. Gill challenging for the ball. Here's Snyder. It deflects to Sorrells. Sorrells tees one up, and the save is made.
It's still a
by
live ball.
Escajeda.
That's a live ball.
Kept alive deep in the attacking third alongside the corner flag. Good defense. Taking it away was Toman Endall. But she gives it away. Bevan. Asher. Played deep right wing. Cross into the box from Trussell, looking for Hervey. And a better play defensively from Kelsey Connolly.
North really putting pressure on this half.
Trussell off the giveaway. Miriam Garza, the lone goal scorer for the South All-Stars, back in the 29th minute. Time running out on the South here. About 14 minutes to go. North keeping possession. Trussell. Works it up the wing to Sorrells. Sorrells with a run to the middle of the pitch. Lays it off for Asher. Asher with the left foot. Collected by Escajeda.
Yeah, you can tell it's a lefty. Left foot shot, not her natural. Sorrells is really trying to make a play. I mean, every time she gets down there, she makes a run at the goal.
Possession essentially has been dominated by the team that had the wind go against them.
Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe wind is a factor that we didn't think as much. But the North has kept it in the south end the majority of this half.
North with the throw-in. Hervey with eyes on the ball. Hervey back out by Toman Endall.
She wants that third one.
Hervey will throw it in this time. Sorrells with a run after it. Kicked away by the North. Snyder comes back for Bailey Scott. Up for Gill. Attacking third, left wing. Gill got by one. Outswinger. Oh, that one didn't bend back in. Hits the side of the net.
She got some mustard on that. That was a pretty good cross. And it was not an easy turn either. North is getting close, Mike. I think they're trying to put this 3-1. This is a pretty good cross from where she is.
Perhaps the wind played a factor.
Yeah. I mean, hey, there's some mustard on that.
Substitutions back out for the South as Escajeda delivers the goal kick. Trussell. Nice footwork by Sorrells. She gives it away. And a run here up the left wing. Potentially fruitful. Berthoff. And out of play. Throw in for the South in the attacking third. LeBlanc throws it in. Off of LeBlanc and a North throw in.
Yeah, the South's going to have to hustle here. They got about 10 minutes to get an equalizer. They haven't really shown much this half.
Hervey will come out of the game.
I recall maybe a couple of good looks, one right over the crossbar, but that's about it.
So perhaps Hervey's bid for a hat trick in this first All-Star game has ended, as she has both of the North goals that came in the 16th and 23rd minutes of this match.
Good job by Tomanandal.
South with possession in the middle third, and the giveaway. Committed by Amy Burns. This is Asher. Was looking for Gill. Ball forwarded up to number 8, Phillips. And it comes out, deflected out for a corner kick.
And saving the day was Haymaker.
And now with Hervey out of the lineup, who's your go-to guy,
well,
or go-to girl?
Is Sorrells is still in there, 11, and she's kind of lining up where Hervey would have been lined up on the far post. So look for Sorrells.
Gill with the throw-in. She'll get it back. Plays another cross into the box. It heads off a couple of ladies. Still in the penalty area. A volley towards goal off the left foot of Haley Jensen. Easy work for Escajeda as she throws it to Garza.
Now North's got to be happy with that. I mean, that was great chances there.
Erdman controls and lays it back for Garza. She turns it over. Erdman from Deer Park makes a run, middle of the pitch. Erdman tees one up. Not much mustard behind that one. And Wheatley has no trouble.
Yeah, probably a little far out for that kind of shot. She had a man on the right side. But, you know, again, time is ticking. We're under 9 minutes here.
Giveaway by the South. Tomanendal played it right to Asher. Through ball, offside flag is up. Sorrells offside.
She's hungry. She wants a goal here.
The boys will get started around noontime. 45 minutes from now, they'll get a warm-up session, take pictures, and do all the hoopla involved in front of the game. The girls not as aggressive. Not a bit of slide tackling. You wonder if the boys will be any different when they get started around noon. Foul committed by the North. South with a free kick in their middle third, just on their half of the field.
Well, I hope the boys get hydrated. It's going to be a hot one at the top of the hour.
Good ball. Dozette looking to play across. Great defense in the back by Megan Stokes. Room to roam for Carrie Asher. Through ball goes through everybody. Not much of a threat now.
I like the way the North is playing this, though. I mean, they're up 2-1, clock ticking, and they're still providing a lot of pressure. They're very close to scoring every time.
Snyder. Right wing for Sorrells. Coming into tracker Tomanendal. Shot near post, scooped up by Escajeda.
Yeah, wasn't a good shot. I think she was trying to pass that. It came off as a shot, but again, Sorrells in the mix every time.
Long ball, Amy Burns trying to track it down. Kaylee Birdhoff, but it rolls to Wheatley. Foul called on Sorrells.
We'll see if Hervey gets back in. She is on the sideline now, and they may put her in for the last 5 minutes.
It's here at the bottom of your screen, in between Jensen and Little.
Yeah, I think she's coming back in.
Ball in the penalty area. Out for a goal kick off the deflection from Miriam Garza.
South needs to get a corner somehow. They got to get a free kick or corner, something to stir the pot a little bit. Now here comes Hervey.
The aforementioned Jensen, Little, and Hervey about to re-enter for the North. Substitutions also made by the South as that ball was not ready to be kicked. Lauren Huffam hasn't had to really do much work out there as the referee of this match, but she has blown her whistle a little bit more here in the second half than she did in the first. Into the 75th minute of the match, 2-1 North. If there's a Most Valuable Player award that'll be given out after this contest, it should belong to Kaylee Hervey, who's on the ball there, but her flick is now controlled by the South, who give it away. Scott for Asher. Asher looking to feed it through. Tomenendal blocks off the run of Leslie Snyder, and a foul committed inside the box by Snyder.
Tomenendal, a little interference, and it worked out. Protected everything and her goaltender, and she got a free kick out of it. Take a look, and she said, no, you're not getting to it. Box out. And her day is done.
Lauren Vasquez will check in for the North. Throw-in will be executed by Jensen. Coming in for the South All-Stars, Presley Hunt. Handball by Hervey.
Now, the South needs to pressure it right here. I mean, under 5 minutes, this is the last shot here. Got to keep it on the north side for a number of possessions.
Phillips with the header up the right wing at midfield. Scramble for the ball and is kicked. Tomenendal finds Hunt. Vasquez. Hunt reclaims possession for the South. Middle of the pitch for Dozette. Left wing now Garza, the lone goal scorer for the South back in the 29th minute. Plays it to an open space. Claimed by the North. Trapped by Jensen. Angled towards center for Asher. Looking for Hervey. Avoids the slide tackling Kelsey Connolly. Hervey finds Asher. Garza tries to come in to take it away. Offside flag is up on the one touch. Snyder was looking for Little.
It was great passing by the North all the way around. I think 5 or 6 players touched the ball in that sequence, and a Little streaking for the goal, had a shot just off sides, but you can just see the skill level of passing by the North.
Berthoff. Erdman. One last chance. Erdman. And a last-second tackle by Valdepina.
Valdepina played that great. If she goes in too hard, that's a free kick.
Kept in along the line by Hunt. Cross into the box.
Very smart play. If she tries to make a tackle there, that's an easy free kick.
(2-1) North. Kaylee Hervey with both goals back in the first half.
2 minutes, that's it. And South's got to work it here.
Connolly will throw it in. And kicked out by Hunt for a North throw. More subs. Stephanie Sorrells checks back into the lineup for the North All-Stars. Snyder. Sorrells. Tried a through ball, blocked away by the South. Coming down to the final minute of the match, the 80th minute. Sorrells with a tackle, good challenge. Plays it through, that one's gonna roll right to Escajeda.
And too bad, she was on sides. If she gets a foot on that ball, that's a legal play and a good shot.
Hunt. Presley Hunt from Brazoswood. Trying to find Berthoff. Now it is Vasquez for the North. Garza. Taken down from behind. Perhaps the final chance.
Yep.
Scott committed that foul.
Under 30 seconds on our clock, the official clock very close to that, so this is it.
Dozette for the free kick. Headed by the North. Haymaker. Into the box and just out of the reach. As Garza can't keep it along the end line, the buzzer sounds. That brings us to the end of this Girls All-Star game with the North defeating the South by a count of 2-1. Final thoughts?
Second half, not as much action as the first. Some opportunities. I'm impressed by the play of the North in the second half, but Hervey made it all stand up. Those 2 goals she got in the first 23 minutes held up for a 2-1 win.
Hervey in the 16th and 23rd minutes, Garza in the 29th, and after 80 minutes, the North All-Stars defeat the South All-Stars. Final score, 2-1. We'll return around noontime for the Boys All-Star Game here at the 2013 Texas High School All-Star Soccer Games presented by Town Square Media here on FoxSportsSouthwest.com.